Greetings, vloggers, bloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty. You see my hair is a little straight today. I just washed it. Sorry for that. But today I want to talk about, having a constant brewing mind when you're lonely. And I've been struggling with this for the past few weeks myself. I'm finally realizing, that I am now in a state where people are enjoying me more because I am medicated and I have taken my medication and what have you. But also on the other spectrum is that I'm lonely and then I get into these brewing sort of ruminating thoughts, and they where I ruminate over doing things that may happen, or that people are out to get me, or people that just are just out to get me, or they're just not it's just things that are irrationally, they're irrational fears. And I've spoken on many of those videos, and there's videos on my channel on irrational fears. But my point about today with irrational fears is, when I'm ruminating over these irrational fears, I'm not realizing that I need to stop. I need to just stop thinking about those irrational fears, and I need to focus on doing something that I enjoy. And, I think loneliness is a delicate balance where you have to realize that you need to take time to rest and recharge your batteries, because everybody with autism, with autistics, we struggle with recharging our batteries at times. We're mentally and emotionally exhausted. For example, the 5K, which I just mentioned in my last video, the 5K that I did, it was emotionally exhausting. We went to breakfast afterwards. It was meant I did a TikTok on it, but we went to breakfast and I was just emotionally drained, and so I sat for I slept in bed for a couple hours. I sat on social media for most of the day, and I went and got ice cream in the evening. However, um, the next day, or not the next day, but later that week, I'm realizing, that I'm getting into this brewing thought pattern, and where I'm brewing thoughts of things that just I know that aren't true, and or they're not, or they are true, but they're not going the way that I want them to go. And as we realize, everything in the world cannot go the way that we want it to, and we cannot control everything, how it operates, how it functions, what have you. Um, we know that. We just know it doesn't work that way. The world doesn't revolve around us, and we can't always make the world revolve around us. So, I think that's a challenge for me, and I know I need to work on that. But I also need to know that I need to keep my mind occupied in that downtime, so that I'm not brewing on those thoughts. You know, where I'm brewing, where they're brewing constantly, and all I think is negative. And then, if it, like that, in addition to the things that I cannot control, when they're negative and driven negatively, and they're brewing, and then I just pout in bed for like an hour or an hour and a half, and that's a lot of wasted time that could have been put into energy, either browsing social media, or putting energy into thinking of something. um it would have worked so much better. But instead, I'm brewing all this negative energy into stuff, and then I'm usually down and out for like an hour and a half. But when I can work on bettering myself and working on myself much better. So I guess it's a challenge that we all have to face, but I have to learn how to work that delicate balance, and learn how to keep busy, and how to keep entertained with doing things. And it is a challenge, and I know I need to work on it. I need to stop thinking those irrational fears, and I'm working on stopping them. But when they do occur, I need to bounce back quicker, so that I'm not in that negative spin, and I need to find something to do. There are plenty of things I can do. I have lots of interest, things I like to do, and I'm working on them. And I have this blog, and there's so much you can do with it. And I had some people reach out to me, so it's just that are local, and that I work with through different agencies, and they want me to work on some projects. So I think it's a delicate balance, but yet it's a delicate balance. We have to know when to recharge, when not to recharge, when to regrow, and when to regrow, and just say we need to focus on doing something, not just sitting and being dwelling on negative stuff, on negative energy. And I know that's much of a rant, but it's what I need to do. And I just encourage anybody not to sit and dwell on negative energy, and instead try to focus it with a positive, with an affirmation. Um, as you see on my Instagram and Facebook, I do post a lot of affirmations, and that is because I do sit and I think, and I'm in those moments, and I need that inspiration, and I think maybe it can help somebody else. And as a result of that, I posted something that somebody locally shared to their Facebook page, and I shared it to my Instagram and my Facebook, and as a result, the person who I know, who is involved in our county, reached out to me and said, we can work with you on we want you to work with us and work on some things. So I think truly it opens doors. So not only do only working with your blog, working with your weight loss, or my many other interests, which I have so many, and the brain is just so full of things and just so full of energy that you can just have to enjoy it. And so that's the thing. I just have to realize how to have a delicate balance, yet, not be in those brewing thoughts. I guess that's how you want to think of it. So with that, I thank you for listening. As always, like the video, hit the like button, and subscribe to my channel. Also, I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Dustin's Dynasty. I'm on TikTok at Dustin's Dynasty ASD, and on Pinterest. Furthermore, I am on the web at dustinsdynastyusa.com. So I thank you for listening again, and have a good week.